Hello everyone and welcome back. Last month went by in the blink of an eye. I was busy turning this house into home, and now that arranging things at the major part of the house is over, I decided to focus on some festive prep by trying to make some snacks that can also be served to guests during coming festivities. While I was opening and assembling the pantry items, I realized that I had all the material needed for a good chaat spread. So started with the basic preparation in the morning. Chutneys are the basis of any chaat. So I'm soaking some tamarind for the sweet and sour chutney. Also, Karthik loves dahi bhalle. So I'm washing and soaking some moong dal for making bhalle later. We also call them dahi bade. What do you guys call it? Let me know in the comment section below. For any big prep, I like noting things down on paper to understand what needs to be done. This really helps me with a better understanding of the menu, preparation, food items, cooking process, etc. Hosting guests or planning festivities can get overwhelming, but putting things on paper really reduces those last minute issues. So today, I'll be making masala pav, dahi bhalle, murmure bhel, golgappe and aloo chaat in the quickest way possible. Once I know the menu, I'll start with prepping that can be done in advance. Today, I'll make the easiest aloo chaat and show you guys. And for that, I'll boil the potatoes first. Here I'm taking baby potatoes and making small holes with the fork before boiling them. We will be boiling the potatoes until 80% done. And I'll add some salt and pressure cook potatoes on medium-high heat for 2 whistles. You can even boil them in open vessel for 10 to 12 minutes. Till then, I'll peel the pomegranate and keep it in the fridge. Potatoes are nicely done, but before preparing them for chaat, I'll first mash one potato for the aloo filling for golgappe. I had boiled some chole in the morning and will add them too in the filling later. Till then, I'll only add the spices and keep the filling half ready. Now let's work on the aloo chaat. I'll take the boiled potatoes and slightly smash them with the help of a glass. This will flatten the potatoes to give them a tikki-like shape. Now I'll prepare marination with some oil, salt, black pepper, Kashmiri red chili powder, garam masala, roasted cumin powder, chaat masala and chili flakes and mix everything well. Now coat the potato with this marination and keep it in the fridge until dinner time. You can increase and adjust the quantity of marination as per your liking. To store them, I line the container with some oil and stack them so that they don't stick to the base or on top of each other. This year, I have decided to make some good use of air fryer by trying new recipes. Let me know if you would like to see some air fryer recipes, and I'll surely share it with you all. I will first roast some peanut in it as I'll need them for different purposes for the chaat today. So 5 minutes in the air frying mode and peanuts will be nicely done. Next, I'll prepare the green chutney. For the chutney, I'll fine grind mint and coriander leaves, half inch ginger, salt, cumin seeds, lemon juice and very little sugar. This is a multi-purpose chutney that I'll bring into use for multiple uses today, like in sabzi gravy for lunch, golgappe pani and condiment. I'll keep it in this mini airtight container in the fridge till the dinner time. Similarly, I'll keep the peanuts aside and start preparing for lunch to finish cooking before Dhare comes home. In the lunch, I'm making haryali chole with missi roti and lachha pyaz. I'll save some boiled chole for the evening and use the rest boiled for the sabzi today. So in the same grinder jar, I'll make haryali masala. I'll make a paste of coriander, ginger, half green chili and 1 tomato. I'll also keep a few whole spices ready and fine chop 1 onion for the gravy. If you want, you can skip the onion altogether and make it without it. Now in some oil, I'll add half teaspoon ghee as it adds a nice flavor to the chole. Add cumin seeds and all the whole spices. Then I'll add turmeric and chopped onions. Let the onions turn golden brown. Once done, add chole masala and salt and mix again. Now add the tomato coriander paste and mix again. In between, I'll grind the moong dal and make the batter for our dahi bhalle. Into the soaked dal, I'll add half-inch ginger, 1 green chili and very little water. It's the same water in which I had soaked the dal and grind everything well. Chole masala is ready and now I'll add the chole and give everything a good mix and let it cook for some time. The dal mix is done and I'll take it out in a big bowl because next we are going to fill a lot of air into this batter by beating it rigorously. When the batter goes airy and fluffy, I'll add cumin seeds, salt, some hing and mix again. In the end, add half teaspoon baking soda or ENO and mix again. I had already greased the idli sancha and will put the batter on it. We will be making dahi bhalle by steaming the bhalle and not frying them, so that's why beating is very important. Next, I'll make the imli chutney. I'll squeeze the tamarind well and sieve the pulp out before starting to make chutney. I'll check the chole and now cook them without the lid to reduce the water quantity a bit. In the imli chutney, I'll add salt, red chili powder and roasted cumin powder and mix well. Bhalle are steamed well and I'll keep them aside to cool down a bit before demolding them, else they'll break down from the bottom. Now in the imli mix goes the jaggery powder, but you can add sugar as well. I'll demold the bhalle and put it in the container to use later. But before that, let me show you how soft they are. Chole is done, but before shutting, I'll add 1 teaspoon of imli chutney mix as it tastes really amazing in chole. Lastly, add crushed kasuri methi and chopped coriander and sabzi is done. And with that, tamarind chutney is also done. For the lachha pyaz, I'll use coriander chutney and add to the sliced onions. I'll also add some salt, chaat masala, lemon juice and Kashmiri red chili and mix it well. Next is to make the dough for missi roti, and for that I'll do some basic ingredient chopping. So for the dough, I'll take an equal portion of whole wheat and besan. In the flour, add cumin seeds, turmeric, chopped coriander, onion and ginger, 1 teaspoon ghee, 1 teaspoon curd and some crushed kasuri methi. Now I'll mix everything before adding water to make the dough. Remember to add water gradually as we don't want dough to be too soft. A lot of prep is done and rest I'll conclude in the evening. Dhairya comes back home from school and the regular activity of feeding him and putting him to sleep continues. Rutvi comes back by 2 p.m. and I'll now make chapatis for her and myself. Dhairya had whole wheat chapati, but now I'll make the missi roti. For that, I'll roll the chapati thin. Now I'll spread water on one side of the chapati and place it on hot tawa. Press the chapati to make sure it sticks properly. Cook the missi roti for around 2 to 3 minutes from one side and then turn the tawa upside down to toast the top layer of chapati on the open flame. Keep rotating the tawa to make sure that the chapati is cooked from all sides. Missi roti is toasted nicely and I'll also toast the bottom on direct flame for 5 to 10 seconds max. Smear ghee and delicious missi roti is ready. Variation in chapatis doesn't take much time, but it breaks the monotony of regular cooking and feels really good. For Rutvi, I'll make some whole wheat chapati as well. And a delicious plate of food is ready. Missi roti tastes super yum. You can also add some chopped green chilies in case you want some spice, but I like them this way. Haryali chole has come out really good. With coriander and mint flavor, it tastes delicious and very different. Kids went to the park with Karthik and I started the remaining prep for the chaat. I'll start by making the golgappe pani. When this chutney is ready, making golgappe water is a cakewalk. I'll add some jaljeera powder to the water along with chutney and mix well. Add salt and black salt and golgappe water is ready. Taste and adjust the quantity of ingredients as per your liking. I'll also add bundi and keep the water aside. Now I'll make the bhel mix for the bhel puri. Trust me, it looks too much, but all these snacks prep literally takes 5 minutes of preparation. In a kadai, I'll roast some puffed rice and cornflakes to remove all the moisture out. Now in the spices goes turmeric, black salt, chaat masala and red chili powder. I'll also chop some curry leaves as I really like the flavor of them in bhel mix a lot. Now in 1 tablespoon oil, I'll add some roasted peanuts, curry leaves and all the spices and saute for just 5 seconds before adding the murmure and cornflakes mix, and the bhel mix is ready. I told you these are just 5-minute preparations. To make it as a snack, add some powdered jaggery or sugar while it is hot and mix everything well. Store it in an airtight container for up to 15 days. A yummy namkeen gets ready in no time. And now I'll gradually start collecting things that will go out on the platter to avoid missing out on any single item. Now I'll prep for masala pav. I'll start by chopping the veggies first. Masala pav will be like a main filling item in the entire menu. That's why I decided to add it today. Now for the masala, in the same kadai, I'll take an equal quantity of butter and oil, and this quantity is for a set of 6 pav. Once the oil heats up, I'll add cumin seeds and all the spices. Next, add onions and saute well till golden brown. For a good flavor and crunch, I'll add some crushed peanuts and mix well. I really like the texture and nutty flavor of peanuts in the masala, but if you don't like it, you can skip it. Next, add capsicum and after 2 minutes, add the chopped tomatoes. In the end, I'll grate some paneer to give some body to this masala. You can even grate some boiled potatoes instead. Add the chopped coriander and masala is done. Now spread the masala generously on both the sides of the pav. You can spread the chutney first, but since kids will eat it too, I am avoiding it. Then I'll layer it with some cheese slice. Now to toast the pav, in the same kadai, I'll take 1 teaspoon butter and add half teaspoon pav bhaji masala along with 1 teaspoon prepared bhaji masala. This brings nice spicy color onto the pav and they look very presentable. Now coat this mix on both the sides of the pav and the quickest and easiest masala pav is ready. Cover it till you serve it. It was dinner time and I was too excited to plate everything on the table. I'll start by first assembling the dahi bhalle. To soften the bhalle, I'll take some hot water in a bowl. Into this, I'll add a little salt and some hing and dip the moong dal bhalle. This will soften the bhalle and make them juicy from inside. Next, I'll add some boiled chole to the potato masala for golgappe. Spices were already added, so just need to add some freshly cut onion and coriander and the masala mix is ready. Last time I taught you guys the air fryer trick for the golgappe, but this time I'll do it even quicker by doing it in the microwave without using a single drop of oil. Just lay them on the microwave plate and run it for 15 seconds. Add 5 more seconds if you think that they are not done from the edges. And super quick, crunchy golgappe will be ready. I mean, who says making golgappe is a task? Bhalle is soaked well and I'll squeeze excess water out and assemble them. First layer is the beaten curd. I've already added a little salt into the curd. Then I'll add the green chutney. Well, I'll skip this one for dhere. The next layer is tamarind chutney. After that, some roasted cumin powder, red chili powder and pomegranate for garnishing, and dahi vade or dahi bhalle is ready. The last thing left is roasting smashed potatoes in the air fryer, and that is where I'll be saving and making things quicker. I line the tray with some ghee and put all the smashed potatoes, and they go in the air frying mode for 5 to 6 minutes max. Potatoes come out really nice and crispy, and now I'll top it with all the chaat ingredients. In the end, it's plating time. Last year, these chaat platters got quite a hype, so I was really keen to share them with you all. Customized DIY snack ideas always bring a nice experience to the parties and are good conversation starters. And more than that, chaat counters are always the most crowded in any gathering, isn't it? So this should definitely be a part of your festive party this year. And this is what the chaat servings look like after assembly. Now that Prithvi understands different foods, seeing her reaction to such food assembly feels so good. I think many can relate that serving likable food on the table makes all the efforts worth it. Dhere ate dahi bhalle and one paratha later, and we together also couldn't finish everything that was there. But having a variety of chaat on the table was divine. I hope this vlog was helpful. Make these chaat delights and share them with your friends, family and loved ones. But also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to motivate me. Join me on Instagram for some day-to-day life updates and behind the scenes. And drop your comments, suggestions and advices in the comment section below, as I really like reading them. And I'll see you in my next vlog. Until then, stay tuned and stay connected.